Mr. Niger plus D, you know it? Yeah. You get it? Yeah. Mr. Niger. Those are the characteristics of living things. Yeah. Mr. Niger. Yeah. You got to live. You got to get nutrition. Yeah. You got to get irritability. Yeah. That's what. Got it. And then Mr. D. That's. Okay, so one of the important characteristics of everything that has breath, that has life, including plants and animals and us, is that we grow. Hmm? Growth is inevitable. Whether we like it or we don't like it, we grow. We just have to grow. We don't get choice. We don't get choice. Don't be that kind of thing where if you say, make we negotiate time. Yeah, get if you pay me well, I go grow. If you don't pay me well, I no go grow. Once they don't pump you, like they don't pop you out of into the world, you understand? You cry, you do all the things, you enjoy the childhood, you enjoy teenagehood, but you still got to grow. You don't remain a child forever, however cute baby you were. Okay, so today we will talk about growth that heals. Growth that heals. I mean, that's kind of, it's making me think in different direction. If I hear topics like this, it makes me think in like growth that heals. So in order to, there's a wound, or there's something that's an unwholesome something that needs to be healed, and for it to be healed, growth has to happen. Okay, let's define these two words. Okay, there's scientific and there's psychological definition of both. So growth that heals, that's our topic for today. So healing. Healing is the psychological process of dealing with a problem or problems. Also, healing is the process where cells in the body regenerate and repair themselves. While growth is an increase in psychological strength or resilience, an increased ability to overcome adversity. Growth also is an increase in size, number, and strength. So, how do we bring these two things together and have a reality? In healing, a process has to happen. Healing is not a one-time thing. Healing takes time, depending on different factors. Growth also is not a one-time thing. Growth is an increase from a lower level or from a smaller level to a bigger one, from a weaker to stronger. There's just improvement in it. So growth does not keep you stagnant. Growth makes one progressive. So why do we need to heal? And why do we need to grow? Why should we involve or engage in a growth that will bring about healing? Are there growth that brings about destruction and more wound? Well, sure. You can bet there is. Good. Um, this is really a big one we need to unpack. But yeah, we can do this. So, hey, Father Lord. Father Lord. Yes, we need healing because we are first and foremost born into the human community, and for the hundreds and millions and thousands or billions of years that humanity has existed, there has been brokenness in the human community. There has been wound, there has been emptiness, there has been vacuum in the human community. I'm not about to go to that origination of all these things, but there has been brokenness. There has been, in every human connection, in every human relationship, in every human in everything about humanity, everything about this universe, this our existence, there has been a disjointing, a breaking, a vacuum, an emptiness, a void. And yes, for every void, for every void, there has to be a closure, there has to be a closing, there has to be for every wound, there has to be a healing if progress must be attained. So for every void, there has to be a closure if continuity must be attained. So for the human culture, for the human community, for the human race, there has to be healing. Like I said, in the intro, um growth is an inevitable aspect of humanity because we are living beings. So growth is an inevitable aspect of us. So for every human being to exist in the fullest, to exist in the most essential and most excellent dimension of their being, there has to be a growing and there has to be a healing. You understand? Now, because the human culture is so flawed, because the human community is so flawed, because we are so broken, because yes, talking about this broken, what I'm talking about is really not about trauma. I'm not even talking about trauma. I'm talking about the human community. So I'm not talking about the trauma caused from by one human being to another. I'm not even talking about where you were born, because there are people who are born into all the wealth and affluence that you need, all the love and care that they could get. So it's like everything is complete for them, but yet there is a vacuum. So I'm talking on that particular vacuum, that one that is so inherent in all of us, that one that is so, that vacuum that nothing we do can actually work on it if an external aid does not come for it. So, um, so that's about that's the dimension I'm coming from. You understand? So yeah, because we are flawed, and because sin is so much of who, like so much of what we are about. You understand? So we really need that external aid to really heal and cause the increase and then the healing. Now, what angle am I bringing this into? To make this point clear and more relatable, I'll tell us a story. Now, there's a very wealthy man, a very wealthy man. He has everything that life needs, everything that one needs in life to, be called wealthy, be classified wealthy, and all of that. And so he had two sons, and then has numerous servants, numerous, like you can't even, anything at all that money can buy, anything that prestige can get, anything that, just name it. He was very wealthy, and he was not a wealthy selfish man that spoils his children. In our generation, there are some people, when they are wealthy, they just leave their children upbringing. So they just provide their children with everything, and then leave the children. This particular man was intentional in raising his children. This particular man was intentional in loving his children, in giving them access to himself, in building relationship with them. You understand? So, but eventually, just talking about the brokenness of human community, this child, one of the sons, was like, guy, see, well, even though this man, they love me, he loves me, he gives me everything I need, but see, I need more, I need more. You understand? Remember, I asked the question: can growth be to the negative, be to more injury, be to hurt? And I said it's possible. Now, in this boy's case, the boy said, I need more. In fact, I won't grow. I want to be, responsible for myself. Gen Z kind of thing. So the Gen Z spirit enter in and he said, Papa, he said, Father, I beg, I'm tired of this your control freak. My father my old man is a control freak. I need freedom. I want to go do my thing myself alone. The man, he said, Father, divide every, if I give me, write your will. I can't wait for that will. I can't wait for you to die. Like, just give me everything I need, everything that is for me in your will. So the man responded to that, not wanting to argue with his Generation Z kind of son. So he gave him everything he needed. And so the boy left home, feeling fly, feeling like I don't blow, feeling like I got it all put together, yeah, yeah, put together. So the feeling like he has grown and gotten all he needed, so he went out with that, all the father gave him, the wealth, the everything that the father could, give him. So he went out with them, and then, did his life, did everything he wanted to do with his life, as per saying don't grow, did all his thing. And eventually his kind of growth, his definition of growth, his his um his perception of growth, his perception of life, his vibing and energy towards life decided to wound him beyond his capacity to heal. So he got to the rock bottom. He got to the end of what he could, where he could help himself. And so at this point, remember, he felt like he had grown and decided to go his way. So he went his way and he got wounded and hurt some more. So now the real growth began. So the real growth took him back to where he will find healing. And when growth births healing, what follows is wholeness. There is wholeness when growth births healing. So, from his dungeon, from his rock bottom, he got up and went back to his father, the man who has loved him from conception, the man who has loved him even before he was born, the man who has loved him enough to work and provide things for him, the man who even loved him enough to say, you feel you're an adult and you want your wealth, all right, go with it. So he went back to his father, and the father, seeing him wounded, messed up, broken, shattered, broke, he was broke, B-R-O-K-E, broke, you understand? He was broke and stupid. So the father saw him in that state, welcomed him, hugged him, ran towards him, hugged him, kissed him, and everything, and then began his healing process and say, yes, my son, yes, 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 yes. There's a lot more I have for you. The boy was when he was coming back, being broken, shame, and everything, was feeling like, in fact, I should not even be called son again. Let me just be working with the servants of my father and all of that. But the father said, no, 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 no. You're still my son. I've been waiting for you. You've been long gone. I've been waiting for you. I knew you were going to come back. I knew you would grow someday. You understand? I knew you grew and you come looking for healing. And so the father welcomed him home and began to connect with him again, celebrate him, call people, tell people, provide everything for him again. Now, the other brother that had stayed with the father all the while, you would think that he was also growing himself, but the guy wasn't really growing. Both of them were growing in their own eye, but the boy didn't really, the elder brother didn't really grow, because when that one came back and the father welcomed him back, the other one started complaining, started comparing himself with the brother, started competing with the brother, say, I am supposed to be the top. I am supposed to be the center of this attraction. I'm supposed to be the one being celebrated. I'm supposed to be the one that is doing this thing. And so the father now had two sons that are broken, beaten, battered, wounded, who thought they had grown, but they were at the bottom of of how do I explain this now? But both of them were actually at the same level. So both of them needed to now begin the journey of growth, to the growth in healing, in wholeness, in pursuit of wholeness. So the father now had to talk to the boy, say, okay, this is how things work here. Right? Your younger brother went away, he was lost, and now we found him. Why don't you celebrate with him? Why don't you express growth? Why don't you express love? Why don't you express maturity? When you have experienced, or when you are on a journey of growth that heals, growth towards wholeness, increase towards healing, increase towards a better approach to strength, a better approach to problems and all of that. That's growth that heals, growth that brings healing. When you're on that journey, love is actually always the key. Love and connection, love, peace, patience. You're more patient, you are more loving, you're more caring. Like a lot of all those things begin to manifest themselves in you. Okay, so the man needed to talk to this his son that it's about time you start healing. You begin this journey of growth towards healing, growth that brings healing, growth that restores, growth that connects you, that brings you to your place of expression, your place of manifestation, because the world is actually waiting for you, your place of networking rights. And while for this other son, the man welcomed him, knowing that he was so wounded. So he needed to celebrate him and bring him to a mental space where he could know that, okay, at this point, I now need to grow in the right direction, in the wholesome direction. I need growth, not the growth that breaks me down, but the growth that heals me from the wounds of humanity, from the wounds of the past, from the wounds of inferiority, from the wounds of tiredness. So these two sons, right before their father, actually began this beautiful growth. So for both of them, salvation happened that same day. How about you? Where are you? Are you like the elder son who has been growing and thinking he's growing, but actually is growing in brokenness? Or are you like the other younger son who thought he had arrived and needed freedom, felt he had grown, and so he went into his growth escapade into brokenness? Well, the good news I bring to you today is that there is there is the opportunity is available for you to start this journey, of growth into healing, into wholesomeness, growth into the, the beauty of who you have been called to be. For some, now these two sons also represent two kind of people. This one also, he was growing in brokenness right in the father's house. Meanwhile, this one was growing in brokenness far away from the father. He was experiencing growth in brokenness far away from the father. But when both of them came right before the father, when both of them allowed the father to now walk them through this journey, healing became a part of their growth. Wholesomeness became the component of their journey. Now, how do I explain this? How do we bring this to reality? How do we bring this to what we see today? There are several people in the church. There are several people who are born again. They have Jesus in their life. They've been found by Jesus. But they still live holding on. They are still living in the emptiness, in the vacuum, in the neediness, in the brokenness of what life, the blows life has dealt them. It is not their fault. It's not their fault. This is not to shade anybody or something, so it's not your fault or something. While there are some who they are just in the world doing their thing, so they've not even experienced salvation and all of those things. Now, for this one who hasn't experienced salvation and all that, you need to come to a place where you need to begin this journey, and you cannot help yourself with. Remember, I said that um this healing, this wholeness, this wholesomeness cannot be attained on your own. You definitely cannot help yourself do it. You understand? So you need an external source, an external aid, who have been able to do, or who has a record, a track record of a finished work and of ability. You need Jesus. To be precise, you need Jesus, and that is at the point of salvation. So salvation, your salvation needs to be addressed. So that is the beginning of your journey for you, if you must grow into wholesomeness. While you who are already in the church, you who have been in the church but have never acknowledged the the bitterness inside of you, have never acknowledged, you still wear the glasses of, you still feel um you still wear the shades of, I am running the race, I am running the race to meet my redeemer. Meanwhile, inside you there is wound. There's this stinking bitterness, there is anger, there is hatred, there is um wound that is manifesting in different angles, subtle ways, comparison, criticism, everything. Like, it's manifesting in different subtle ways, and you've not addressed them, you've not even begun, you've not acknowledged them, you're not even aware of them. You need to come to an awareness, and that is the place of brokenness. That is a place of heart check. That's why heart check is a very crucial thing we must, because sanctification is a progressive journey. So heart check is a process, is a practice we must always do. Because as you approach the word, if you approach the word with the glass of, you want to come and hear what God has to say, what God has to say, what God, you, or what you will share with others, what you will share with others, you will keep on living in the Father's house. You will keep on being a believer, but you are not growing towards wholesomeness. And wholesomeness is that thing Jesus has provided for you already. You will be like that son who is living in the Father's house, working in the Father's house. And when you now see that, how he forgave this prostitute, this person you call the prostitute, a sinner, a drunk, an addict, a killer, an assassin, who are they called now? I say assassin, or what are they called? All these fraudsters and all of those things. When you now see them and see how God picks them up and then grow, like, see their growth and their healing and their wholeness and everything, their journey, how it's progressing, you now start comparing yourself, you now start wondering, you now start saying, you now start arguing, feeling like I am better, I can do it better. Like, why? You start comparing. I've been born again since this. God doesn't count that way, my sister, my brother. It's about time. It's about time you stop wearing, like, you stop carrying on your head the fact that I prayed the sinner's prayer years ago, and come and face your life. Look inward, brother, look inward, sister, look inward. It's very crucial. Allow the Lord to really prune your heart. So yeah, that is that for this person, and that's that for this person. So there is possibility of being on a healing journey, that on a growth journey in our growing our work with God, that will bring about healing. And there's possibility of you just growing and growing into nothingness, and growing into more pain, more hatred, and all that. So it's now your choice. You know better, so do better. Hmm? So my final word to you before I call this end this filming is that the Bible says, I am the vine, my father. I'm the vine. My father is the gardener. You are the branches. Whoever abides in me, and I abide in them, they will bear more fruit. He who bears fruit, the father prunes. But he who doesn't bear fruit, the father cuts away. Right? He who bears fruit, the Father prunes so that the person will bear more fruit. So, being in faith, however long, it's not the solution. It's not the title, it's not the tag. The goal is, are you bearing fruit? Are you bearing fruit? Are you working towards wholeness? Are you working towards Christ likeness? Are you being a disciple? Have you stopped being a disciple? Have you stopped? It's possible. You can decide to quit being a disciple. You can even still be wearing the disciple robe and name and tag, and yet you've quit being a disciple. Are you still surrendered to Jesus? Are you still letting Him search your heart? The psalmist says, "Search my heart and know my way, if there be any evil there. Lead me to the everlasting way, for I belong to you." All right. So, till I come your way next time, Jesus loves you. He wants to walk with you on a personal journey. He's not jam packing you with every other person. He wants to intentionally walk you through your growth. Is that okay?